Hello, friends. So, I am excited because I've decided to participate in the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, or HRCYED 2. This is a challenge, a bingo style challenge that was created by Q over at the QWERTY YouTube channel. Basically, what you are signing up for is a bingo style challenge where you attempt a blackout of the bingo board by completing each of these various prompts. And over the course of the year, starting July 7th, which is Q's birthday. So I, of course, am starting late. It is now October 2nd, 2025, as of this recording. And I learned about the challenge maybe 2, 3 weeks ago. And so I am still going to use the July 7th as my start date and just basically take the things that I've read since that time and apply it to the challenge. Now, what you'll see here, so these are the various challenges. I can introduce each one, but basically for each challenge, I put the estimated number of books that would complete the challenge. And this totals to 166, which I then have divided by two. And so I'm looking at needing to read about 83 books in order to complete the challenge using double ups or counting each book to complete two of the prompts. And that is more reading than I'm used to doing. So we'll see how it goes this time around. But I am really excited and I've had a lot of fun with filling in kind of my reading plans to satisfy each challenge. Um, so yeah, instead of going through each thing, I will just walk through the different challenges. I created a sheet that I can talk about later, but it's basically listing each challenge and then what I plan to read. And so you'll see that I have a lot of blanks. These are the things that I've read thus far for July, August, and September. Um, and I plan to use double ups, but because I am starting late and I'm trying to be kind of strategic, I'm only assigning the first prompt for now. And then as we go forward, I will add some of the like second prompts. I have like potential prompts, so each book can count for multiple things, but I'm finding that some things will be easier, more difficult for me to complete. Q has created a nice dashboard that I'll spend more time on later as I complete things, and also points calculator. I haven't decided if I'm going to play points by which you can do things like rereads or triple ups or, substituting prompts and things like that. Um, so I've kind of played around with this for now, and we'll see if I get back to that. But okay, so for the prompts, there's by the 100s, where you read a book that's 100 pages long to 199, 200 to 299, 300, 399, so on and so forth. So I think that naturally my reading typically falls in like the 400 or fewer pages. So a few things that I'm looking at for the longer term books are listed here, but I haven't done anything with this challenge yet. So if you have any ideas, especially for the longer books, I am interested in hearing your recommendations. For the 24-hour readathon, I have a number of shorter books that I'm thinking about doing. I haven't done this one yet. But when I say shorter, I'm thinking like 5 hours or shorter, whether it's physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks. And the goal is for me, my goal would be to read three during this 24-hour period, where from like basically the time I wake up until I go to bed. And I think that I could read more. As you can see, I have a number of like, 1 to 2 hour reads. Um, but I don't want to like count all the things for the 24-hour readathon. I want to be able to double count. So we'll see how that one goes. I might try something a little bit longer as well. But right now, I'm thinking I want to target Animal Farm for sure. And then these are a couple of shorter books that I'm thinking can also count for an animal prompt or part of the rainbow cover prompt that you'll see and a translation. So that's what I'm thinking for the 24-hour readathon. I have enjoyed watching those videos, so maybe I'll put something together for that. You can then move on to subgenres of choice, and you get to choose a, uh, a main genre, and then, so I chose romance, and then I will read 7 books within the romance category, with different subgenres. So this is what I'm thinking so far. Um, so I have paranormal, romance or fantasy, cozy, historical, and contemporary. I am interested in other books as well or recommendations. So if you have any, please feel free to let me know. I am really looking forward to A Kingdom of Dreams, which is a book by Judith McNaught, and that was one of my mom's favorite reads when from back when I was growing up. So I am looking forward to reading that. It's an older one from, I don't know, 80s or 90s, that I am looking forward to. For the series Staircase, you're reading a standalone, a duology, trilogy, or a series that has 4 or more. Um, so I'm thinking anything for me will work for the standalone. A couple of other series that I've been looking forward to reading are The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments, which I will read for the duology. The Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, which I plan to read for the trilogy. And then one of my favorite books from my childhood was The Giver. And so this will be a reread for me, but I've never read the other 3 books. So this would be a 4 or more. So I would have to use a reread from the points in order to make that happen. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. For award season, and I have notes all over the place here, but October 2nd is the announcement of the shortlist for the Bailey Gifford Award for nonfiction. So I'm thinking that I will do some blend of that award and the National Book Award for nonfiction. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm thinking that I'll definitely read the winners from both of those, as well as selections from the finalists and semifinalists. And then if there's like a Goodreads nonfiction book that piques my interest, I will do that. TBR game challenge. I did a TBR prompt wheel that I saw on this YouTube channel, and I got my prompts from a website. Basically, I spun the wheel. I got the prompt. I chose 5 prompts, and I haven't picked them out yet, but these are the prompts that I'm going to be looking at. So that is the TBR game. The last 10 years, I'm looking to read something between 2015 and 2025. So those would be 11 different books. I started to look at how I might use the double ups. So, like the Broken Earth trilogy came out in 2015, 2017. I think that my reading will naturally fill this in, but we'll see how that one goes. For the adaptations, this one would really have me reading a modern retelling, which I'm really excited to read. James, I'm surprised I haven't read that one yet. Um, so I will likely do that, or Legendborn. I might choose to use that one. I have already planned a date night with my husband to go see The Outsiders. That's going to be coming as like a Broadway. I live in Central Ohio, so they're coming to Columbus in the spring. Um, on Tyranny, they have a graphic novel that was made from the book. Not sure about the play. We'll see. The TV show, I read We Were Liars this summer with a book club, and so I'm looking forward to checking out that series that came out on Netflix earlier this year. Um, and then I've heard some things about the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. which I kind of missed that boat several years ago, but I want to check that out. Um, and then the animation and movie, I'm sure that there are a ton, but The Little Prince, I've never actually seen that. And that was a book I enjoyed when I was younger. Um, and in terms of a movie, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. My husband and I watched that one a couple of weeks ago, so I think that one's done. I need to put the little marker there. So for the disability challenge, there's a lot of different ones that I'm considering, but in terms of where I am now, I've only read Onyx Storm. For Heritage Month, I read pretty diversely by just kind of naturally. But for Black History Month, one reread that I've done this year with the book club is Their Eyes Were Watching God. So I put that one in, and I'll have it count there. Uh, yeah, I have some ideas for some of the other months, but if there are others that you might recommend, I'm all ears. For translation, there are a number of books that I want to read. I say cat or coffee. So there's the Traveling Cat Chronicles or Before the Coffee Gets Cold. There were translations from Japanese. I want to read The Wretched of the Earth, which is um, a book that I think will offer a lot of depth. It's nonfiction. Same thing with the Nicomachean Ethic. And this one was the one that was over in my 24-hour challenge. So we'll see how that goes. Then we have Around the World. I don't think that I'll have a very difficult time here, but South America I think will be interesting. So I'll be looking for recommendations for that. And then the Even Bigger Rainbow, I think this is going to be a fun challenge to see visually. And I have a number of books that can fit this. Um, but I haven't filled them in yet because I just want to be strategic about what I use for my double ups. So we'll see that. But I have loved watching other YouTubers that have completed this already and just seeing how pretty the spread looks. So for Make a Quote, you basically choose a quote and then you read a book that is associated with each word in the within the quote. So I chose Well-behaved women seldom make history, and then those are some of the books that I'm considering for that. For spooky creatures, there's a number. So vampire, shifter, magic user, fae, spirit, merfolk, zombie, or other creature. This one's going to be somewhat challenging for me because I don't read as many spooky creatures, but I do have a few that I'm, kind of looking forward to giving a go. So, yeah, any good recommendations, things that you definitely like, I am interested in. For Become an Avatar, this would be, I'm choosing to do word in the title. And so I would like to choose a book. So I read How Not to Drown in a Glass of Water for the water prompt. I'm thinking The Wretched of the Earth might work here as well for Earth, The Fire Next Time. And then I'm not quite sure what I want to read for air, but I have a couple of potentials down here. Into Thin Air, When Breath Becomes Air. But if you have a good recommendation, let me know that. You can also choose to do the cover image instead of the word in the title. So that is a possibility. For the Readathon Challenge, I am participating currently in the TBR Harvest, and just really excited to get going with that. I did the Pumpkin Patch Challenge where you get to meander this board, and it's super cool. TBR Harvest is by Leandra at TBR Zero, so there's a link that's in this download as well. And so this is what I'm considering. These are the prompts I came up with. Uh, so CAT in the title and our author. So I'm going to do The Secret Life of Church Ladies. A 5-star prediction for me is Good Grief. It's by Sarah Goodman Confino, who's one of my favorite authors. And that's the only book that I haven't read of hers that just came out um, at the end of August. And then the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is has that very seasonal, whimsical cover. Hot or cold, I want to read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and then the cozy or creepy read I landed on. And I am excited to read Listen to Your Sister by Nina Vale. I saw her talk this summer at the book festival, and she seemed really cool. So I got her book and am excited to dive into that. Um, Animal friends, we're looking at house pet, exotic pet, farm animals, wild animals, or zoo animals. So I have a few thoughts here, but definitely open to ideas. And then in terms of the queer alphabet, um, I don't have, I've been watching videos and trying to like document what this might look like, but I currently don't have an intersex or a gender fluid two-spirit recommendation. And then if you have others, I'm totally open to those. So for my favorite HRCYED 1 prompt, I didn't really know about HRCYED the last time, so I spent a little time looking through these. And so I decided to do the read a book for every season in the season. This summer I read Funny Story. I'm thinking I'm going to use the Pumpkin Spice Cafe for autumn. And then I'm looking at Five Winters, which is a first reads pick that I got, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago for winter. And then spring right now is open for me. I have a couple of thoughts there, but we'll see how that goes. For the BIPOC challenge, I don't believe that I will have a difficult time reading this, but I know that Q said you have to choose books by by authors that have backgrounds that are different from your own. So I identify as an African American woman, and so I read a lot of books that are by Black authors, but I am trying to be a little bit more nuanced. So these are a few that I've read so far this year. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to making sure that I'm still stretching myself diversely and reading from different perspectives. So I like that challenge. For new releases, I am starting a little bit late, and so I'm behind on this one. I know you're supposed to read within 60 days, but I do want to read Our Last Resort, which is a horror that I'm gonna read with a book club for this month. And Good Grief by Sarah Goodman Confino that I mentioned. I will read. That one just came out in August. So I think I will be good there within the 60 days. I read an arc. I have a couple of friend authors who just had their first ever book launch. So congrats to the folks that wrote Interwoven. So Roy Qualls and H.E. Wallace. So do check that out. It is a really good book, sci-fi. But it's not like pure sci-fi. It is a book that really challenges your thinking about our world and kind of what we want our world to look like. So I highly recommend that one. If you're looking for a September book as well. And Ryan Holiday has a book called Wisdom Takes Work that's coming out this month that I'm interested in, as well as The Finest Hotel in Kabul, which was longlisted for the Bailey Gifford Award. So I'm looking forward to those. The only other one I have that I want to read is A Fabulous Through Hike, which I think is planned to come out in February of next year. And that's a hiking book by Derek Lugo, who just finished the Triple Crown of hiking, which is Appalachian Trail, Continental Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail. So this one is about his Continental Divide hike, I believe, if I haven't messed that up. But um, yeah, I just really enjoy that. And I've enjoyed following him over on Instagram as well. So, for Challenge Yourself, I have been trying to get back into reading Newbery Award winners. And that was, um, those were books that I really enjoyed growing up. So I added this to my challenge, just to read five over the course of the year. And it's a good breath of fresh air. I read the crossover for the Read Good Challenge for December. So I kind of accelerated that one, but it's a book that's written in prose about, and it features brothers. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I'm very much looking forward to filling in some other middle read books that are outstanding. The nonfiction challenge, I think I will not have a hard time doing at all. I read a decent amount of nonfiction. The only thing that I think will be challenging is like finding ones from a variety of different backgrounds, or not backgrounds, but a variety of different subgenres that fit with the double up strategy that I'm trying. So we'll see. You've already seen a lot of a lot of nonfiction with my intended award season. But what I think I'm going to try to do is basically not use that as a double up for this challenge. So, yeah, just to stretch myself a little bit more. And so these are a variety of the ones that I'm thinking about, but we'll see how that reading goes. And then, last but not least, our cues, reviews, and recommendations. I have really enjoyed going through some of the uh, videos and recommendations that they've made. And so I think at this point, I'm looking at When the Moon Hits Your Eye, Legend Born, and One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This, which also I plan to double count over in the in my award category, but this may change. So everything right now for me is really flexible. But just as I wrap up, one thing that I am doing is I have a planned reads uh, sheet that basically, if I select everything, it's all of the challenges listed. So I have one row per challenge. So basically, all 166 books or prompts that need to be filled. And then I'm trying to, like, as I kind of solidify what I want to read. So, for example, for the series Staircase, I have those filled in. And then I want to say when I plan to read them. So for now, my reading, I have basically just a handful of books and prompts that I've completed and that I want to use as like my primary. Each one of these I intend to use for another prompt as well. We'll see how they fit. And then this would give me my reading plans for the month of October. And so, really, I think that I will finish the readathon challenge for the TBR Harvest and then get a little bit of that spooky reading in. So, I am excited to see kind of how this goes. I will be posting updates and the like, and definitely looking at what other people are writing or are talking about and participating in that way as well. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm late to the game, but even if I don't finish it this time, this is a super fun challenge, and I highly recommend it to anyone that wants to give it a go. So, yeah, if you want more updates like this from me, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. And yeah, happy reading.